The City of Dublin Natural Gas provides the most cost-efficient source of energy available today. So for your home, choose the most natural resource. Safe, clean, efficient. All new subdivisions around the Dublin area have natural gas available. Start reducing your energy bills today with Dublin City Natural Gas Department. Natural gas, the smart choice. Call 277-5048 today and let us help you start saving today.
Thank you for being here. As Barry said, I'm David Estes. I'm the acting United States Attorney for the Southern District of Georgia. I want to introduce a few people, some of which I'm sure you know. Sheriff Dean, and with him from Lawrence County is also Major Stan Wright. We have Devron Ramcharan, who is our Group Supervisor of DEA in Savannah. There you go. Henry Countryman, who's Supervisory Special Agent with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, and John Harper, who's an Assistant United States Attorney for my office and the lead prosecutor in this case. And I appreciate all of those individuals joining us here today. We say in law enforcement it takes a network to fight a network, and today's announcement is a powerful example of a network of the good guys in law enforcement working together, federal and local, to take down a drug trafficking conspiracy in this community. We're here today to announce the unsealing of a federal indictment, United States v. Monroe et al., which we refer to as Operation Monroe Doctrine. The indictment primarily focuses on an investigation going back more than a year and a half. However, the drug conspiracy part of the investigation goes back much longer than that. This investigation began with good work of the Lawrence County Sheriff's Office to identify and stop the illegal introduction and trafficking of drugs, primarily methamphetamine, in this region of Georgia. In coordination with the DEA and as part of a organized crime drug enforcement task force investigation, Operation Monroe Doctrine identified sources of supply and distribution of meth in the greater Dublin area. This investigation culminated in the indictment of 30 defendants on the charge of conspiracy to possess and intent to distribute 50 grams or more of methamphetamine. I'd note that charge alone carries a statutory minimum sentence of 10 years. And further, I would note that the federal prison system, Bureau of Prisons, there's no parole. Additional charges in the indictment add up to a total of 56 felony counts against these defendants, including multiple charges involving illegal possession of firearms, and that's where the expertise of the ATF came in to assist in this particular investigation. Identifying and infiltrating drug trafficking organizations is dangerous and risky, and in this particular case, it's of note that there were 77 firearms seized during the course of this investigation, including an automatic weapon, a short barrel rifle, and 4 homemade silencers. We don't always do press conferences about all the cases that we do in the Southern District of Georgia. This one was one where we felt like it was important for the community and the citizens of the Southern District of Georgia to know that with the limited resources that I have as the U.S. Attorney, we have to focus those on the most important areas that we can in the district to have the biggest impact. And this investigation shows what we always should be doing, and that is coordinating with local and state law enforcement in order to have the biggest impact for our citizens in this community. All of us basically work at the funding of the taxpayers of this district. And the taxpayers deserve to know, the citizens of this district deserve to know what it is we're doing out here and the good work that the law enforcement, both local and federal, are doing. And so anytime we have an opportunity to highlight that and show the citizens that these folks are working hard on their behalf to keep them safe, we want to do that. And I believe this operation, by any measure, will keep the citizens of Lawrence County safer. The defendants named in this indictment have been appearing in the U.S. District Court for initial appearance hearings since Wednesday, when their indictments were unsealed. Additional hearings will take place as required for all the defendants, and I want to remind everyone here in the press that those named in the indictment are considered innocent unless and until proven guilty. We want to thank Lawrence County Sheriff Larry Dean and his department, along with all our law enforcement partners, for their outstanding work in this case, and it was outstanding. It needs to be noted. I'll now call on Sheriff Dean to say a few words, and afterwards we'll take questions, but I ask that you please understand this is an ongoing investigation and that we may be limited in the answers that we can give you to your questions. And I apologize to you in advance. Sheriff Dean?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you for the hard work that you've done here in this county. I mean, it's been an honor and a privilege to work with agencies like this. And I'd like to also thank ATF and DEA and John here that's going to be actually doing the prosecuting. This has been ongoing a long time now, and I'd like to thank the citizens of Lawrence County, but I'd also like to thank the deputies of the Lawrence County Sheriff's Department. They had a great commitment. There's untold hours that went into this, and I'd like to express my deepest appreciation for the work that they've done. Like I said, reiterate the DEA, ATF, and the Lawrence County SO. This has been a team effort from day one. When I took office as sheriff, I vowed to work hard and tirelessly to stop illegal drugs in our county, and today, some of this, we've been able to achieve that goal. I just want to thank all the citizens for the information that they've given us. I want to thank the tireless hours. People don't realize the number of hours that our agents put into it. And I know we have a lot of crimes going on. A lot of people want to call the sheriff's office and say, Sheriff, they're dealing drugs out of my house. They're dealing drugs. I could put on 50 more officers and still I couldn't get to everybody's house. But we do try to take a priority, and we go after the big guys. We're trying to go to the source. And with the help of the DEA, ATF, and the U.S. Attorney's Office, we have been able to accomplish that goal. And I just want to thank the citizens for being patient with us. And my door is always open to the citizens of Lawrence County. If you'll get me that information, I will pass it on. Just be patient with us. Working these drug cases takes a lot of time and effort. Thank you to the citizens of Lawrence County, and thank you for everybody involved here. Thank you, sir.
Questions?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for doing this and protecting our community. We can't thank you enough. We support law enforcement. Some of the names on here, are they tied to the Mexican cartel?
I'm going to defer specific questions to you about the case to John. I don't know if we can answer that question at this time or not.
I don't think it'd be appropriate to answer that at this time. There are some individuals of Mexican citizenship who are arrested out of Atlanta, but as far as their ties back to Mexico, I don't think there's enough for us to really answer that question at this moment.
Hey, I'm Glenn Register with Hometown Supply. Anything they need for us to do, we do. We give warranty with everything, new and used. You can get what we call a tractor style mower that's less expensive than a zero turn is. You can spend basically half the money and do the same job. You come down and look at what we have, service it, we get parts for it. We can take it down there behind the store. We got a place down there we cut, show them everything about it. Take it out, set it up, do the financing on it, payment where you can handle it. You can get whatever you want and just about name your game. This is a one-stop shop. And remember, if you can't do business here, you just can't do business.
All right, boys, if you want to go to college, you have to clear out another one of these.
What if we told you there was a better way to save for your kids' college than pickle jars? Morris Bank's Savings Builder account and moolah makes saving for your kids' college easier than ever. All you have to do is connect the account to your debit card, where it automatically rounds up your purchases to the nearest dollar, depositing that spare change into a moolah account where it will grow into a nice little nest egg for whatever your kids have their sights set on.
through this list, a lot of them are already on the street. How is that possible after all the work y'all have done, and then just a short time later, they're already back on the street dealing drugs?
Yeah, I can give you sort of the legal framework. In the federal system, there's somewhat of a presumption that if certain conditions can be met to ensure the safety of the community, then that a defendant should be granted a bond. And so we discussed about certain defendants, and some of those we elected to not seek detention. Some of them we did, and the court still decided to release them. However, I do want to say that it's a different system here in the federal probation office. The United States Probation Office is on a whole different level than local law enforcement. And this is not a situation where you can be out on some sort of bond and think you're going to get away with anything. And so to the extent that they have been released and have been placed on bond, if anything happens, I expect that they will be brought back before the federal magistrate judge and would likely not be re-released after that time.
Sheriff, how do you feel the community is going to be safer now that these charges have been made?
What's that question again now?
How do you feel the community of Lawrence County is going to be safer now that these charges have been made?
Well, like I say, these people have, most of these defendants in this case have probably been on the wrong side of the law for a long time. So when you get an agency like the U.S. Attorney's Office come in, DEA and ATF to come in and work with us, and we use their resources, it's just a blessing that law enforcement has worked together, and the citizens should be proud of our U.S. Attorney's Office, the DEA and the ATF, and our Lawrence County deputies for just getting out in the tireless hours that they worked. They're just going to make it safer for our county.
And I'd like to also comment on that. I think, and the gentlemen up here on the stage have been involved in law enforcement, and the folks out here also for a long time. And in my almost 30 years being involved in law enforcement, it comes down to this, and you can hear this in any local community you go to. You talk to any local sheriff, you talk to any police chief, they're going to say that the vast majority of crimes in their community are committed by a very small percentage of the people. And sometimes, most of the time, it's the same group of people. And so the idea in having a federal case or bringing federal resources to bear into a community is we try to focus on who the sheriff, the people who know who the problems are, who they are, and then if we are able to convict these individuals, if we are able to do that, if we prove the case is beyond a reasonable doubt, they'll face some serious jail time, which ultimately keeps them off the street, and those individuals aren't in the community committing crimes. I mean, I know that sounds simplistic, but it works that way.
And how long did it take for this operation overall? Would you say?
The investigation's over a year and a half, and other than the timelines, I mean, those are general timelines, how long it takes, but that's not unusual in a large investigation. Some go quicker, and some go even longer than that. So it takes a lot of patience from law enforcement, and a lot, just like the sheriff said, a lot of work, a lot of leg work. It's got to be done.
That's been one of the most hardest things that I've had to deal with after becoming sheriff, is to be patient. You'll reach out to these officers. I'll check with them daily or sometimes weekly, and I'll be saying, where we at? The citizens of the county are wanting to see people behind bars or that's breaking the law. But I've learned over the last 4 years that if you'll be patient, work with these other agencies, get their assistance, that it'll all come together and we can have successful prosecution.
There was a lot of weapons involved in this. Can the citizens be assured that these weapons won't be back on the street?
I think providing a conviction, we generally forfeit weapons. Sometimes and I'm not sure about this particular case, if the weapons are stolen, they're destroyed. We don't know, I'm not sure the status of all of the weapons. Certainly we're not returning back any illegal weapons, like an automatic firearm, that's not going to ever be returned back. Short barrel rifles, also an illegal weapon. Some of these individuals are felons. They're prohibited from possessing firearms. So we have a good record in cases like this in which we seize weapons and those weapons not returning to the street. Okay. I think we're going to wrap it up there. We appreciate, again, you all spending time with us this morning to highlight the great work of the Lawrence County Sheriff's Department and the DEA and ATF, and John Harper as Assistant United States Attorney. Thank you very much for being here.
And one more thing, I want to personally thank everybody here today for being here. Y'all have done a great job. I mean, y'all just impressed me with the law enforcement work you do, and just want to thank you one more time, sir.
You're welcome,
Thank you,
Sheriff.
Thinking about what to do after high school? How about jumping directly into your future? Oconee Fall Line Technical College offers hundreds of programs to prepare students for the real world. From business to healthcare to professional and technical services, our graduates go straight into a career. And tuition? Surprisingly affordable. At Oconee Fall Line Technical College, you will succeed sooner. Apply today at oftc.edu.
Community Bank of Dublin-Lawrence County is here to help with all of your financial needs. Our team knows what it takes to make life easy and convenient, and will help you get set up with our mobile and online banking. We founded Community Bank on common sense banking and a dedication to help people just like you. Our loan officer Gail Rainey and branch manager Amy Thompson know what it takes to make life easy and convenient, and can help you with loans with almost everything, from your automobile, home, land, or any financial goals you have. Come visit us today. Community Bank of Dublin-Lawrence County, where common sense banking never goes out of style.
How long do you think, I know it's a long process doing this now, as far as going to trial and prosecuting these people, what kind of process is that?
Well, according to their initial appearance and arraignments yesterday, currently they have 90 days to file any sort of pretrial motions. The government will have 30 days to respond after that. And so you're looking at least 120 days right there, and then some time to prep. And so assuming that this case ultimately ends up being resolved by some sort of trial, it would probably be at least 6 months.
On a personal basis, how satisfying is it for you to take these people off the street and do this for our community?
Well, I don't know, if my own personal feelings are relevant. I think as I've spent time in Dublin and Lawrence County over the last several months that, this is a very special place. It's filled with some very, very great people. It's got a rich history. It has a fantastic downtown. I think it's easy when you walk around Bellevue Avenue to think that you're a world away from the world's problems, but Dublin's like most other places in the United States. It's not, and so Dublin has problems with illegal drugs. Methamphetamine is a epidemic across the country. But I think while it can feel a world away from the world's problems and is not, it can also feel the world away from the world's solutions. Mm-hmm. And I hope today, what you can take away is that you're not a world away from the solutions. And so even though I work out of Savannah, we have an office in Augusta, we're more than happy to travel the 2 hours to Dublin to lend a hand to local law enforcement to help them with problems that they're having difficulty solving.
And when are the next court dates expected for these? I'm sure it's going to be over a period of days, but like when are the next court dates for all these 30 people?
There is nothing currently pending.
Okay.
The court sets its own calendar, and so we are provided notice with any upcoming hearings. And so there will be some, I think, scheduled in the next few weeks. There's some individuals who are already in custody that have to be transferred from other locations. And so I expect those will happen in the next few weeks, and then we'll the process will move on.
Well, are any of these, will they be denied bond, some of the more serious charges?
I don't get to make that decision. I have expectations, but again, a lot of these individuals, particularly in Lawrence County, really have no significant criminal history, and it's difficult, I think, to argue that they shouldn't be given the opportunity again. And so that's why a lot of them, I think, were not detained at the end of the day.
Do you think this bust has any significant impact on the community overall, or just the crime in the community?
I can't answer that for sure. I would like to hope so. Lawrence County has suffered a lot of problems with local individuals and their ability to sort of combat crime in Lawrence County. And so I would like to think that this indictment shows that there are other ways that Lawrence County can work on keeping the people safe. And so we're here to help them do that. And I was glad and honored to be able to help them with it.